How you guys doing? Isham C, and today we're talking about Spider-Man 3 and the reasons why Spider-Man 3 was not successful. So you guys stay tuned and you guys stay subscribed. Now, Spider-Man 3 was introduced to us a year prior before the release date, I believe. It was released in 2007 because I remember I went to see it the day it came out. Now, as a fan, at first I did not have a problem with the movie until I literally went back when I got on the DVD and I watched it. I was only like 7 when it came out, but when I got it on DVD, I rewatched it and I looked at some parts and I was like, wait, none of this seems right to me. And then I realized the movie was god awful. So I recently just watched it again, and I would just tell you the parts and the reasons why this movie was successful. The first, I'm just not gonna do first. Well, I'm just gonna tell you why the reasons weren't good. It didn't. Peter Parker cried too much in the movie. Peter Parker was way too emotional. Peter Parker was not. He didn't seem so interesting. It was like his character was just. It didn't feel like the Peter Parker from the first and second movie. Peter Parker is supposed to be this guy that jokes around a lot but still gets the job done. And they didn't even show that inside this movie, which I thought was not even. It just wasn't. It was not good. And him as Spider-Man. I didn't have a problem as him as Spider-Man in the movie because there were some scenes that was actually good, and one of those scenes was him fighting Harry inside of his house, and he was like, "Look at little Goblin Junior, you gonna cry?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that was hilarious!" But that was when he had the black symbiote, and it's not Sony's fault. Oh, hold up, pause. It is Sony's fault, but it's not Sam Raimi's fault. Sam Raimi, you did your best. You had two successful movies. This movie it wasn't you for you, man. And people are still bashing Sam Raimi because of this movie. This was not what he wanted. Literally, what he wrote before for this movie wasn't supposed to happen. There was not supposed to be a Venom. It was not supposed to be a Venom, new Green Goblin. It was not supposed to be that because in his mind, only thing he wanted was Sandman, and he only wanted to tell a Sandman story. And he wanted to get when he wanted to make Spider-Man 4, he wanted to bring in the Sinister Six. I mean, I don't know how that would have been possible because you killed off Doctor Octavius and Green Goblin, which had me concerned about that. But that's what they wanted to do, was bring in Sinister Six. I don't know if they would have been in the fourth movie because they wanted a Carnage in the fourth movie, which I thought would have been terrible because you already had a symbiote in the third. Why would you put another symbiote in the fourth if it wasn't successful in the third? But it had too many villains. Sony wanted a lot of villains because they felt as if it would make the Spider-Man franchise a lot better and more interesting in people, all the fan base to come and watch it. But it wasn't. It wasn't at all, and it's basically Sony's fault that we had a terrible Spider-Man. Um, it wasn't eye opening for people when they went to rewatch it. I mean, 2007, people probably didn't realize how terrible it was until like they rewatch it or they got it on DVD or Blu-ray. But the symbiote was it didn't look right on Eddie Brock, because when you put on the symbiote and become Venom, you're supposed to look so buff. You're supposed to look. It was the Venom was skinny. He was annoying, and the way he got his powers were so stupid. It just him in the church getting his powers, and him the whole time he's just screaming, and I'm like, oh my god. But the part where Peter Parker takes off the symbiote was actually not bad, and the bells and the stuff. I don't feel as if they should have killed off Venom. Why would you kill off Eddie Brock? They don't even kill him off that quick in the freaking Spider-Man, the 1980 series. If you ever watched the TV show, which is really amazing, they don't even kill him off. Basically they didn't even do it right. So basically, I forgot what it's called. J. Jonah Jameson's son goes outer space, and when he goes outer space, he brings back a symbiote, which Spider-Man first gets a hand of it, because there was a situation when he was going in space, and when he brought back a symbiote, and Spider-Man had to save him, I believe. I'm trying to think. So Spider-Man gets the symbiote, and eventually Eddie Brock gets a symbiote after Spider-Man takes it off, which they could have brought back the dude from Spider-Man 2 that Mary Jane was supposed to play. Mary Jane was supposed to marry. They didn't even do that, which was god awful, and they made a big mistake killing off Harry. Why would you kill off Harry? Like, why? The reason they killed off these characters, I don't know why. I don't know what Sony was doing. Sam Raimi probably was like, you know what? I'm not even the real producer of this movie, so get off my ass. It just, him dying didn't. I literally cried when he died, but him dying didn't make no sense. It's like okay, his butler finally tells him after what 3 or 4 years that your dad dies because of the blade through his Green Goblin suit, and then you finally die after hearing that. And then the minute he dies, he realizes, Harry. Harry realizes, Spider-Man didn't do it, and that's why he came, with him to save him. Because when he was get attacked by Sandman, it didn't make sense. I wish I could forget this movie, but I can't because it's on my fucking shelf. But we're gonna. It just was. I didn't like it. Sandman, he was okay character. I just didn't like. I liked the way he got his powers. It was really good. Just the people that it was like he's like it's probably a bird. So it just was why. It's just overall this movie I give it a -1 because obviously it just wasn't made to be on made to be on in the movie theater. If Sony would have stopped being a dick and let Sam Raimi do what he's supposed to do, we'd probably still have Spider-Man the first one, and then we probably would have got eventually a reboot, and then we probably wouldn't have got the Andrew. I didn't mind the Andrew Garfield series, but this movie was all over the place. It wasn't worse than Fantastic Four, but it reminded me much like Fantastic Four. It was too much. The plot didn't make sense. Gwen Stacy shouldn't have been in there. Mary Jane, she didn't need to be in there either. It just wasn't. It didn't make sense for either to be in there. And you're gonna have both Green Goblins die before you kill Gwen. I said too much. It's just a terrible fucking movie. And I'm out, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I will keep you updated on any other thing I do. And yeah, peace out.